Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to this channel, and Gift God's Time by name if this is your first time stopping by. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you for your support. I'm so grateful. So today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to achieve the upper part of this dress, that is the front part of the neckline, and also how to attach an ostrich feathers rightly. Kindly stay tuned. Please do not forget to like this video, and also if you're here to subscribe to my channel, kindly subscribe. As you can see from the video, this dress is without any hard knits or petticoats. For this project, I'm going to be using this half yard of velvet fabric because I'm making this dress for a 1-year-old. And I'll also be using this satin fabric of also half yard, and I'll be using matching skin color nets. And the main tutorial, I'll be using this ostrich feathers for it, and this ostrich feather I'm using 1 yard, and I'll be using this glue to glue my ostrich feathers. I'll be making use of my half scale children bodice block, that is the front, and this is the back part where we have the zipper allowance. So I have a detailed tutorial on my channel. I'll be dropping the link. For the sake of this tutorial, I'll be needing the front part. I don't need the back because the back is modesty panel, which I also have a detailed tutorial on my channel. So now for this front part, what I'm doing after using the basic neckline, I'm going to go down by 2 inches, as you can see. What I'll be doing next, I'm going to form a curve from the neckline. So I'm going to connect that curve all the way to that 2 inches line I drop down. So this is the curve. I'm just giving it a sketch. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to highlight it more for you to see the curve I'm creating. So this is the shape I'm trying to achieve. So this is it after being highlighted. Next, I'm going to cut this part out, and I'm also going to keep it. I'm not going to throw it off because I'll be needing it for the illusion neckline. So this other part, I'm going to cut off that edge, that arc at that point. I'm going to cut it off. I'm cutting it off because I don't want, when placing my net on the main fabric, I don't want to experience difficulty, so I don't need that other part. So this will fit right on my neckline to sit perfectly, but you can also extend yours if you choose to, but I prefer mine this way. So by the time I'm going to measure from that neckline to this part, you will notice that it's 2 inches, which is the neckline I'm giving, like the original neckline I'm giving for a child of 1 year. So that is the basic neckline I'm giving for a child of 1 year, 2 inches. So it fits perfectly. That is the reason why I cut off that other edge, the longer parts off. Next, I'll go ahead to cut this pattern on my fabric. This pattern is on fold, so this is it when it's cut on my fabric, and this is it when it's open up. It was on fold when we drafted it. So I've gone ahead to cut both my lining and also the net part, and I cut 2 of the net parts. I also added my allowance at the sides and at the top part. So this is the second part of the net, which I'll be using to turn this other one, the upper part, and also I'll be attaching the sides to the main bodice. That's why I gave allowance at the sides of the net, because I'll be attaching it to the main bodice, 1/2 inch on both sides. So right here, I've gone ahead to sew the upper part of the net. So this is it. And then I closed it and ironed it. So this is the net I'll be attaching to this main bodice. I've also added interface on these bodies, both the main bodice and on the lining. I added interface on both the lining and the main fabric so that it will have more weight because of the pressure it's going to face while adding this net at that down part in order to achieve that V neckline at the end. So there will be a lot of pressure going on. That's the reason I added interface, so that the velvet fabric will not fry, will not look squashed, because it's a very soft fabric and delicate. So I added it to be able to face the pressure. What I'm doing, I'm attaching the net to the main bodice, the velvet. So I'm using my pin to help me hold the two sides. I gave 1/2 inch on both sides, so that is where I'll be sewing. So this is it when it's opened up. I've not yet sewn those two sides, so you can go to your machine and sew the two sides, or you can as well turn it with your lining, all of them sandwiched together. So this is how you're going to place your lining if you want to sew all of them at once, than rather sewing the net first and then sewing the other part. So this is another method. So this is how you're going to place your lining fabric, that is right side of the lining fabric facing the right side of the main bodice, and this is how you're going to sandwich all three of them and sew together. So at the end you have a good finishing, and you've also attached the net as well to the main bodice. So this is it after I've done the joining by sewing it on my machine. So this is the back, which is well knit. So what I'm going to do now, because it's a cuff, I'm going to notch all through so that it's able to relax properly. I'm going to notch and iron as well. So this is it after notching. Next, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to bring an interface, a hairstay, and I'm going to be attaching it at that down part where that V is being formed. So I'm going to be placing it to iron it. I'm going to be attaching it on the main bodice itself. So I'll be ironing it right there and also attaching two of it because of the pressure going down there, just to make it lie flat. Since I'm using twin interface, for it to stick properly, I'll be using this, which is called hemi gum, so to be able to connect both the 2 points together, that is to sandwich both the lining and the main fabric together. So as you can see me doing, cutting it, and I'll place it like so and then iron. So this is it after ironing. Next, I'll be attaching both the front bodice and that of the back together. So this is the back bodice. It is a modesty panel, and I also have a detailed tutorial on how to make a modesty panel. I will drop the link in my description box below. Now I'll be attaching it, that is right side facing right side of the back facing the right side of the front as well. So that is what I'm doing. I'm going to sew the side seam and also sew the shoulder parts. In order to achieve a good finishing, this is how I'll be sewing the shoulder together. So the fabric, I will join them together and the lining together. This is how I will merge the two of them together, and at the end I'm going to achieve a good finishing at the shoulder. Now for my ostrich feathers, I'm going to be cutting 2 inches each. So by the time I'm done cutting the first one, I'm going to use it to place to cut the other, and that is how I'm going to be doing it till I get the numbers I'll be needing. So these are the ones we just cut now, and I'll be showing you how to use my fabric glue to glue them together. I'll be placing the glue at that top part on the 4 of them. So I've done the first one, and I'll be proceeding to the second, and that is how I'm going to do to all of them. Next, I'm going to fan it so that the glue gets tacky before sealing it up. So this is how I'm going to be sealing it. So I'll have to move one end of the ostrich feather, as you can see from the video, and also move the other end and stick the two of them together. So this is how I'll be doing to all of them. I've gone ahead to do as much as I'll be needing, so this is it. Next, I'm going to take my sleeve. So I have a detailed tutorial on how to draft a sleeve pattern on my channel. So I'll go ahead to fold my sleeve into two after hemming the bottom part, and I will sew the sides as well. I'll be bringing the main bodice and also the ostrich feather, and this is how I'm going to be placing the ostrich feather at the shoulder part. When placing my ostrich feather, I will be separating the main bodice and the lining parts because I intend to finish the armhole with the lining. I'm going to be placing the ostrich feather I'm going to start from the joining of the shoulder, and I'll proceed all the way to halfway of the armhole. That is where I want my ostrich feather to be. So while placing the ostrich feather, I just want to tell you my experience using the glue to attach the ostrich feathers together. So the only advantage it has is that it's faster. The disadvantage is that it makes your machine needle while sewing to get sticky and difficult to sew. So you have to use your machine oil to lubricate the machine entirely and also the needle. So my advice would be for you to attach your ostrich feather together, kindly sew them. You can sew them either with your thread and needle or your machine. Yes, it will take a longer time, but it will save you the stress of your machine being sticky. After placing the ostrich feathers, I'm going to sew it. So by the time I'm done, this is how it's going to be. So I'm done sewing it, and this is the outcome. This is it. So next, I'm going to be placing my sleeve. I'll be attaching my sleeve from the side seam, that is the side seam of the main bodice. So this is how I'm going to place it, like so, and then I'm going to sew all the way till I get to the other part of the side seam. So right here, I'm done placing the sleeve on this other part. So this is how it is. This is the outcome for this first part. So this is how the inside looks like. So this is why I said I did not attach my lining to it, because I want to give it a good finishing. So I'll be using my lining to turn those rough edges. So this is how I turn my lining over. So from the side seam of the main bodice, I'm going to be sewing all through till I get to the other sides of the side seam of the main bodice as well. So I'll sew all through, even get to the shoulder parts. It's difficult, but you have to do it. So this is the outcome by the time I'm done sewing it, and as you can see, it's very neat inside. The whole work is beautiful. So this is the outer part of it, and this is the inward part of the dress. Very neat, and also since it's for kids, their skin are very sensitive, so you don't want any form of fabric poking their skin or making them uncomfortable. So in as much as possible, when sewing for kids, your work inside has to be extremely neat because of their tender skin. For the down part of this dress, I have a detailed tutorial on the technique of making a ball dress. I will also drop the link in my description box below. So if this video have been helpful to you, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are yet to. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.